Guess who's back, back again, again. Nick is back. Go tell a friend, Nick. Welcome back to Doom. How are we doing tonight?
So, another episode of the game project that just won't end, huh?
You know, it feels like that, but we've actually only done as many episodes as we did of Resident Evil. We've just stretched it out over the course of like 2.5 months.
Maybe it's just because I could, feel progress with Resident Evil, you know? One week you're in the lab, next week you're in the demonic photo lab.
Shark Tank, and then, with this, you're right. It is just horde after horde of enemies with progressively bigger guns. Now,
speaking of horde after horde, did not Doom just turn 25 sometime this week?
Yeah, I believe it did.
Yeah, I believe John Romero released an expansion for the original Doom for free, if I'm not mistaken.
Are you shitting me? That's awesome.
Yeah, you can also get like a $190 version of it, and you get some sort of replica of his head on a pike or something, or I don't know. It's John Romero's humor.
Yeah, exactly. Speaking of humor, question mark, what do you reckon happened to this dude?
I assume it's either being assembled or disassembled. Either way, it's
I was going to say, there seems to be
probably been interrupted.
Yeah, there seems to be more surgical precision with this one than your average Doom gore, so, yeah, I guess we'll see what that's about later. So, yeah, tonight we'll see how close to the ending we actually are. I think we're nearing the home stretch, but I could be wrong. I mean, it's hard to tell with Doom. But we've certainly gone to hell and back, quite literally. So.
Well, who knows? Maybe it'll change things up and we'll get a stealth section for the next hour.
Doom stealth. It's just him softly mumbling. It's just him softly mumbling to himself about how much he would like to kill everything in the room.
Lords of Shadow 2 tried this and it didn't exactly go well. Well, all of Lords of Shadow 2 didn't exactly go well.
I was going to say, did any of Lords of Shadow 2 go well?
Well, the intro that they did for, E3 5 years before it was released.
Oh, yeah, where he's like a dragon for a little bit and,
No, I was referring to, when you just have disheveled Dracula talking to Zobek, who is going to help him get his vampire groove back, and then he does in a 2-minute cutscene where he eats a innocent family, and then it's pretty much garbage after that.
Yeah.
But, Jean-Luc Picard cashed another paycheck. His name isn't Jean-Luc Picard, that's the character he played.
Yeah,
what's his name?
Zobek.
Patrick Stewart.
Oh, yeah, Patrick Stewart, yeah. Words. So, not to blame the game or anything, because it's an excellent game, but that was the first time I've ever died in this game where it was a direct result of, the screen just not loading things fast enough. Or possibly,
I just assumed you slipped in the blood puddle.
No, it was some glitchiness, actually, which is unusual for this game. I'm wondering if it's my PC running another process in the background, or if it is legitimately, finally too much on the screen at once.
No, you just need to get some caution slippery when wet signs down.
Yeah, right.
So, anyways, I've been detained with various minutia.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you sound a little bit broken on the inside tonight. How's everything going?
So, what are you playing these days? Seeing as how 2 weeks is, apparently a long time.
Well, I beat the main campaign in Dragon Quest.
Oh, well, that means nothing.
And yeah, exactly. And I've started the end game, which is literally just more story. They don't even pretend that the ending that they gave you when they showed the credits was the real ending. They just hop right into the next real part of the game's story.
Well, I guess 200 hours in, they've got to give you something to show you've made progress.
Well, actually, I in all fairness, I did beat the main campaign in 90 hours.
Oh, that's not bad.
No, I mean,
I think that's about how long it takes me to clear Final Fantasy IX to completion.
Yeah, I have done worse. But I'm definitely doing the post-game and getting the, finger quotes, real ending. Oh boy. Yeah, see, this is the kind of shit that makes me think we may be nearing the end. They're at least trying to intimidate me. So, we'll see what the hell that was all about.
Boy, if I could get sound through Discord, that would be great. I'm sorry, what?
Oh, did they cut off all sound?
Well, it's Discord. There was never sound to begin with.
Oh, I gotcha. Yeah. No, that would be great if it worked for this game, like every other game that we play. I feel like there's less gravity in here. Words. What are you playing casually right now?
In the scant free time I've had, I've actually started playing something that was a gem I found on Steam. Have you ever heard of the Strange Man series?
This is going to be one of those things where you, like, introduce me to another gem on Steam, isn't it? Because, no, I have not.
It's a series of gems, almost enough to fill a whole Infinity Gauntlet. Ooh, package of ammo.
I was going to say, this
Ooh,
feels,
a package of ammo.
Yeah, strangely, like, you know, they lead me.
Yeah, so anyways, No, wait, story stuff, probably, maybe.
Well, it seems like she's being important again. Even though
Didn't
she's
she,
dead.
like, fall into the Eye of Sauron or something?
Yeah, she blew herself up.
Please, we can overcome this.
Well, I mean, she had to destroy the One Ring, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Or I'm thinking of something different.
Oh boy, they just gave me a room full of upgrades. You know what that means. We're
Maybe
about to
we'll
get wrecked.
Find an actual boss.
Okay, so let's see here. I did ammo, and then I said the next thing is armor so that we can use that ammo perk. So now, yeah, check it out. Notice my ammo is currently unlimited.
Oh, I see, because if your armor's above X level, it's unlimited.
Right.
Assuming it stays that high.
Unfortunately, Chainsaw does not have that same perk. I guess that would just be unfair, because then nothing could ever hit you. However, we do have unlimited ammo for the chain gun currently, which basically means that whatever is going to pop out at me in this room is about to get fucked. Alright, who's it going to be?
Is that some sort of evil alien artifact monolith?
You know, I hate to say you're right about anything, Nick, but that's just straight up the fucker from Dead Space.
It truly is. I mean, I don't know why you keep shooting down my Dead Space analogies. I mean,
your Dead Space comparisons.
Yeah. I mean, it's like the difference between a Big Mac and a Whopper at this point.
Oh boy, we've wakened something, Nick. What's it gonna be?
So when you awaken the demons of hell, I mean, where do you go from there?
I don't know. I think they just try to blind you. God. Okay. They call that the Devil's Schlong.
The Crucible.
Oh, the Crucible.
That's what she was looking for. Vega, did you get the location?
Am I Vega? Oh no.
It is located.
No, I thought something was shooting at you. I guess not.
To rupture another Argent accumulator to create the portal.
Can do, Chief.
The only accumulator in this sector is in specimen CD.
So what? You gotta use the key to close shut the doors
You're
of
going to have to
not Oblivion?
Yeah,
Once
something
you've
like that.
extracted the accumulator, it will become unstable.
Well,
The
okay. I mean, it is Doom. I don't know what I was expecting.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that they put any effort into the plot at all is, you know, something.
Retrieving.
Well, to quote John Carmack, storyline in a game is like storyline in porn. It doesn't matter.
Except when it does. Dude, Dragon
think he's
Quest story is actually really, really good. I was kind of surprised with how much I enjoyed it.
I'm assuming we're on the game side of the coin with that example.
Yes.
Yeah, so anyways, back on my previous thought, before I thought I was going to get sidetracked by a cyber demon fight. I guess not. So yeah, I am playing the Strange Man series on Steam, which you can pick up for about $10 for all 4 games, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
It's 4 roughly 5-hour-long games each. The Crooked Man, the Sandman, the Hanged Man, and the Boogeyman.
Nice little
And-
handy Oh, like one
And they're
one or two
really
session playthroughs.
Silent Hill-esque in the way they work.
Okay.
Think like Silent Hill, but an RPG maker.
Oh yeah, I'm always down for that. Oh boy,
So,
big guy.
anyways, yeah, I've been thoroughly enjoying that.
So, is it like 2D, 3D? What's the style?
I mean, you've played an RPG Maker game, right?
Oh, I'm sorry. You meant literally like it's on the RPG Maker engine.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
then
mean,
yes.
it's very polished, but yeah, that's the engine it runs on.
Okay. Hello. Hello, big boy. Oh, I'm out of fuel. Hello. All right, I'm dead.
Aren't you also out of health?
Yeah, you know,
Oh,
now that you
that's your
mention.
armor. I thought you had no health and all armor.
Oh, at this point, I might as well fucking die. Okay. You know, that ammo perk would really be helpful right now.
Well, there's a trick to that.
Yeah, don't get hit.
It's called being a glass cannon.
Oh god! I just shot him with my pistol.
Don't you have a BFG or something you can use?
I do, but I feel like they haven't thrown at me the worst enemies that they're gonna throw at me yet. That's always the trick with the BFG, is knowing when to use it.
Says the guy who picks up
Whoops.
the overshield after everything is dead.
Lockdown disengaged.
Yeah, right. Alright, cool. Alright, where do you want me to go, game? So
I finished watching Castlevania.
oh, nice.
I
What'd you
don't know,
think?
sometime 3 weeks ago.
Sweet.
It was passable. I mean, I wasn't
Oh, man,
expecting
I loved
anything
it.
amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like I haven't seen the story played out 10 different iterations over the last 20 years.
That's
Yeah,
fair.
it was nice. The latter half of season 2, I definitely felt the series ended just as it kind of reached its strong point.
Yeah, that is true, but I mean they are gonna come back with another season, so we'll get to see what
Yeah, I mean, like in a year. I mean,
Becomes
who
a
knows what I'll
valid
be
card.
doing then.
yeah. But no, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was very well delivered. And you're right, the second season was definitely more of a slow burn. You got a lot of backstory before, you know, the payoff with the actual confrontation with Dracula. But I thought that was extremely well done. Let's see here. This looks promising.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it was all right overall. I mean, it was inoffensive, which is kind of what I expect these, you know, that's kind of my mark of quality these days. One thing that had really kind of confused me was there was just so many parts in that series that had like awkward silences where nothing was going on. And I don't know, like, if it was an anime, I would feel it was just some sort of issue with the dubbing, but I don't know. I mean, it was made in native English. Like, for example, in the first episode, I guess, when Trevor gets beat up in that bar, it's just like, I don't know, strangely quiet for a bar fight.
You know, I didn't.
And
I'll have to
when the-
rewatch that. I didn't pick up on that, but
it's, I mean, I feel like with the pacing they were going with in that fight scene, like, I don't know, I got the impression they wanted me to think there was like, you know, 30 people in this bar, but I guess it was just 2 customers, Trevor and the barkeep.
right.
Another example is like in episode 7 when they're riding up the ice elevator to Dracula's castle, and just like nobody says anything for 90 seconds, and I thought like they were gonna do like a gag like, you know, Mass Effect, where everyone's just kind of uncomfortably shifting, waiting for.
Oh yeah,
you know,
the elevator.
it was like nothing. It was just like 90 seconds of nothing. It was just, I didn't know what their plan was there.
Yeah, I do remember that scene. I think it was more just like, you know, the last moment of peace and quiet they were gonna have before.
I mean, they certainly could have done that with it, but it was just kind of like, all right, well, let's just freeze the frame here, and yeah. I mean, I guess Trevor looks at a painting at one point, but
Oh yeah,
I'm not
Leon.
really given a window into how he's feeling about that. You know, like, you know, I don't know, have I disappointed my ancestors, or well, can I live up to their pedigree? So, like I said, it was just like a weird, kind of wasted opportunity.
That is certainly true.
But the fight scene that, happens throughout the rest of the episode, of course, more than makes up for it.
Oh yeah, where he beats that like bird creature to death with those 2 sticks. That was beforehand. This is like as they're going up to Dracula's castle. Oh, okay. Oh yeah, once they enter Dracula's castle.
After Sypha hot wires the castle remotely.
Yeah, the gloves come off. That was
when they kill all the super important vampire generals who I think literally said nothing the entire season.
But they were malcontent, so.
Well, I mean, I don't know. They
so
seemed
we're told.
kind of happy. So we're told.
Dude, my favorite death in that whole series though was Godbrand.
Mankind.
Oh yeah.
Like when he just went down like the chump he is.
I mean, for being the loud, annoying prick, I mean, you knew someone was going to off him before a major confrontation.
Well, I just love the way that it went down, because up until that point, Isaac was relatively demure, and then he just kind of fucking snaps.
I loved Dracula, but they just, I don't know, could not sell me on the villains. I mean, between the vampire generals who, as soon as I saw them, like, oh god, here's our 13 captains before we fight Eisen, and the 2 sad boys, I don't know, I kind of felt like they could have just, again, done more with it. But, I don't know, maybe they're just waiting for Carmilla to show up and
yeah, I mean, it was definitely more Carmilla-centric than I would have thought. Though, I mean,
I forgave a lot for Carmilla showing up and essentially betraying Dracula and ruining the entire war effort in, what was it, episode 6?
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgave a lot for that, but, boy, you just really had to wait for the payoff in that season.
Yeah, but I mean, they did do a good job with her. You love to hate her. I mean, she's an actual awful character, but that's exactly how she's supposed to come off.
Maybe I was just so happy to finally hear one of the vampires say something. Maybe that's what.
Oh, but I mean, the one that really got me though was Hector's character. Like I think I told this to Max in one of our episodes. I was just waiting for him to, basically do what Isaac did and just snap at some point and start killing things, but he never did. Like when Carmilla started wailing on him there at the end, I was thinking like, oh, you just fucked up, Carmilla, but no, he just took it.
I kind of got that impression because everyone kept calling Hector a
boy,
a boy in a man's body. So I thought, okay, well, let's see, we got 2 episodes here left, so okay, we'll probably flesh this out in season 3.
Yeah, I guess so, but he's definitely a different character than he was in his video game.
Well, when you beat up a demon forge master who makes demons that I guess are exclusively loyal to him, I don't see where Carmilla's plan is here.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't see how this doesn't immediately backfire.
Yeah, he's going to just create a bunch of servants that'll turn on her in the next season, which will be another great payoff scene. Oh boy.
But
Nick, things have gone wrong very quickly.
To have seen them, spoilers, kill off Dracula in the 2nd season, I kind of thought, all right.
Well, it is Castlevania, so I think we can rest assured that he's not staying dead.
I don't know. I mean, I feel like you kind of cheapen his death after such an emotional climax. I mean,
yeah, but
you can only hurt the series at this point if you were to bring him back.
Well, I think the alternative is to make Alucard the villain next time around, which would be interesting. Like, just have him totally regret what went down and turn on people.
No, I think we've got enough villains trotting around what I assume is Europe.
Wallachia, Nick.
I thought it was like Europe. I mean, Wallachia is part of Europe, right?
Yeah, but
yeah.
If we were getting specific.
Well, and at some point, obviously, we're going to have to introduce Grant into season 3.
Yeah, I know. That was like the one thing that I was kind of like, are they going to ever do anything with Grant, or are we just pretending he doesn't exist?
Hey, Joseph. You can take little Duncan outside. He might need to poop.
Which, I mean, is fair. He was definitely the weak link in that chain.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't exactly see anybody, scrabbling in the reviews for Season 2 saying,
Where's Grant?
Where's Grant? I mean, I'm sorry, it's not him I see all the fan art of right now.
Yeah, right. Unless it's just some like random piece of yaoi from the 90s. I mean,
yeah. I mean, you know, if you did find some, it would be on DeviantArt or
Yeah,
you know,
exactly, right.
Geocities or Angel Fire,
hello.
something.
Oh man, is Angel Fire still a thing?
It hasn't been shut down yet.
Really?
So I guess I mean, like, here's my prediction for season
Dude, that
3.
guy just turned around and pimp slapped me. Did you see that? Sorry.
Yeah, he tried. Yeah, season 1 was just such a slog. I gotta tell you,
Well,
I had a lot of
season 1
trouble.
was a promo. I mean, that's all that was.
I hate the trope of like evil church and evil priest stuff.
Yeah, it
Like,
does.
it's just the laziest attempt at being edgy. Like, personally, I would be really thrilled if they, you know, had a not evil priest or something like that.
Well, wouldn't
I
it
mean,
be great? You know, the priest dies, and then it turns out like Alucard's mother was like selling out humanity to Dracula or something, and he was actually kind of right.
well, I mean, that was the whole point of, like, you know, parts of season 1 was showing, you know, just how awful humanity was
Right.
vis-a-vis, like, the church, you know. But no, I mean, that would be, I think, I think that would be edgy, strangely enough, to paint the church in a positive
Yeah,
light
right?
for once.
I think we've come full circle there. You know?
Well, I mean, like we kind of, like, I kind of got a little excited for that, you know, when Trevor is taking care of doing the fortifications for the town or something. You know, says, you know, I need an actual, I need a priest to bless some holy water, an actual priest.
Oh
I
yeah, and
thought,
that thief dude shows up. Yeah, an actual priest, please.
yeah, you know, I thought maybe we can go somewhere. No, not yet, at least. But, you know, so the point of that was, since we kind of, you know, have, I guess, taken care of the whole church thing at this point, maybe Grant shows up and he's like the face of terrible humans because he's, I imagine he's going to be like a smuggler or something.
Yeah, Han Solo type rogue.
Possibly smuggling Isaac's demon army back to Wallachia.
Ah, okay. That could be. Let's see here. What are we doing?
Yeah, anyways, that's my thoughts on...
Why
did I want to say Skyrim?
Dovahkiin.
So, shifting gears, I had to buy a whole bunch of the remainder of the Christmas presents tonight, because I guess I'm in charge of Christmas.
Oh, no wonder you're in a bad mood.
So, I gotta tell you, when you're looking for anime pillowcases for your sister and she's in the room, you gotta make sure that Safe Search is on.
Right, I was gonna say, there's no way you're not getting porn there.
Absolutely not. Hi, Joseph. I have not. Why?
I've got the
Well,
ammo
I had
perk
something.
again.
I couldn't be bothered to reheat anything. I was in a pretty bad mood.
Was.
Well, I mean, it is 10 pounds of stew, Joseph. I mean, you make 10 servings of stew.
Nick!
Oh, are we finally getting our Cyber Demon fight? Haven't I been going on about this for 8 episodes?
Yep.
No, it's
Lo
not.
and
correct,
behold.
Joseph.
Lo and behold.
And Joseph says it's the end of Dead Space Martyr. Oh, and it's got a health bar. See? I told you.
Oh my shit.
Oh, hey, it's Final Fantasy XIV all over again. It's the Bahamut coil.
Oh my shit. Oh shit.
Why are you walking onto the glowing circles? Yeah, it's like fighting the Omega Pirate from Metroid Prime.
It's not dissimilar.
I'm gonna be real disappointed if this is the whole fight.
I'll be disappointed if this is the final boss, because I'm actually doing pretty good. Oh,
Thanks for lagging up, Discord. Now it looks so laggy, I feel like I'm watching Into the Spider-Verse.
yeah, let's make Nick more piss and vinegar tonight.
Okay, have you seen trailers for Into the Spider-Verse?
Yeah, it looks pretty freaking rad.
Is it meant to look... I mean, I'm sure, like, the plot and stuff is cool, but is it meant to look like a stop-motion movie?
I don't know, but...
Like, am I the only one who sees the frames skip everywhere I see it?
Hey, we're back in hell. Okay, that wasn't the final fight, but it was definitely a fight. Oh.
Oh, okay, see?
Or...
Okay,
Oh,
yeah,
shit,
I felt that
round
was...
2.
Okay, there we go.
Oh, shit, dude.
Okay, there we go. Now it's a fight. I've always loved how Doom is one of those classic examples of save all your good stuff for the bosses.
Yep.
This is why I never drank a single potion in Final Fantasy. What if I need the potions later?
Oh, shit.
Oh wow, there's not a lot of ways to avoid him when he starts going on the offensive.
Oh, no! Oh, I was so close. I did better than I thought I would have there.
Yeah, for just, you know, falling bass backwards into it.
Yeah, pretty much, and taking, like, really stupid
Oh, they're
hits
gonna
at
make you do the
of-
whole thing again, huh?
Nope, just part 2.
Oh, okay.
I'll take
Don't
that.
you have a BFG? Maybe you should open with that.
Actually, I think I'm gonna use that, because when I use it, he drops health. So,
You drop health?
he drops health when I use the BFG. So,
Oh.
when my health gets below 100...
Oh, I see what you mean, because you want your... Okay. I feel like you just take all those hits.
Yep.
I mean, it's essentially avoiding the shockwaves from the second form of Dracula in Castlevania 64.
You know, it's not dissimilar to that. Oh, shit. Okay.
Well, you were doing good, and then...
And then... Oh! He... I had nowhere to run for that part. Yeah. That sucked. So, like, when those walls came up, I was, like, pinned to the very back of it and was, like, basically toe-to-toe with him.
Yeah, there's not a lot you can do when those walls go up.
No.
There we go.
You know, this may be the final boss.
I would be strangely disappointed. Was the Cyber Demon the final boss in the original Doom?
Good question.
I have never played the original Doom, have you?
I've played a good amount of it.
But you've never finished it.
No. Or at least not... Well, I think I've seen the ending once, but it's been so long that I truly do not remember.
I mean, being half facetious here, I mean, how much of a ending can it have?
Well, enough for the 90s that it was at least kind of a cliffhanger.
Huh. Maybe I should finish it. I mean, I somehow own it on Steam, and I don't remember ever buying it.
Maybe it was one of those friend gifts that got ignored. Like Stick Fight. Come on. Come on. Why can't I grab him?
Why can't Gabriel grab onto him? Oh, what a
my
load
God.
of crap.
Dude. Like, I don't know if that was supposed to happen or if that was a glitch. Either way, it sucked.
Well, I mean, they gave you enough health.
Why can't I grab him? Oh my God. Dude.
What's your interact button?
E. And it's not working. Dude, I'm like actually upset.
Oh my goodness.
Let's... Melee slash... I am so fucking stupid. Like, I've been doing this the whole game. And I, at this moment, for some reason thought it was E.
Alright. Well,
Well,
E
I
for
have no one
interact.
to blame but myself for this loss. Oh my God.
Oh. And down he went.
You know, I'm not even mad. That was just my blind stupidity.
Well, I mean, you killed him 3 times up to that point.
Yeah. It's
Well,
not a
you know.
win until we see the credits.
Spriggans and Cyber Demons die 3 deaths. Speaking of Final Fantasy XIV, there's a game I wish I could play again.
You know, it's never a bad time to play it. I mean, unless you...
There is
don't feel
absolutely a bad time to play it, like when you don't have enough time to devote to it.
Or don't want to pay a monthly subscription fee for it, yeah.
I don't mind that. That game is absolutely worth 14
crap.
whatever they charge. I was paying way more because I had like 4 retainers that I kept too, so there's that. But yeah, it's a wonderful game if you've got the time to devote to it properly.
Right. Oof. You know, I deserve that. I got a little too cocky there with going for the health. You've told me this, but because it's Play the Hits and I don't give a shit. What remind me what the latest like expansion or
latest expansion is the Alamiga. Okay, so you've got your base game. You've got the Stormblood DLC, which was basically dragons. You've got the third arc now, which was Alamiga,
right?
Which was basically Japan land. And now the next expansion coming out is taking the fight to the Garlinian Empire.
Ah, okay.
And I assume the one after that will probably be close to the end, and that one will be, I assume, fighting the Ossians finally.
Oh, okay. I should have clarified. What's the latest one that you've actually done?
The latest one that I played was Stormblood, the Dragons. I completely finished it, beat the Knights of the Round and Space, or the Evil Pope, and then I just stopped the next day.
Because of course there's got to be an evil pope.
Well, like I said, if there's a church, it's evil, because that's edgy, right?
It's Japanese.
Well, you know, to the Japanese credit, they didn't exactly have the best experience with Christianity when they arrived.
Well, that should have been done 5 minutes ago.
We've all made that mistake. I mean, haven't you played through an entire game before you found out there was like a gameplay feature that was essential to progress that you just never realized was there?
Yeah. Fucking right.
I played through all of the Sandman in the Strange Man series, and then in the last 2 minutes I realized there was a world map I could have looked at the entire time.
Oh, that's gotta be some dick. Okay, that was not the final boss. Or if it was, then this next section is just us walking through a pleasant part of hell.
I feel like that was too short for a final boss. I mean, enough to show you that the game is, you know, approaching a climax, but...
Yeah, you're about to get pwned.
So anyways, let's go back to what we were talking about before we got sidetracked. So Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
Like, okay, does no one... Well, okay, let me hold on a sec. This place actually looks aesthetically different.
Yeah, it does, a little bit.
This is like the first interesting thing I've seen so far.
Ouch.
Well, I mean, come on. Everything else has been Dead Space. It's been a fun game, but aesthetically it's been Dead Space. I mean, JoJo thought we were playing
fair.
Dead Space as I walked in.
Dead
When he
Space.
walked in. Anyways, but yeah, Into the Spider-Verse, I mean, like when you see it, like, doesn't it look like it's moving frame by frame? Like,
maybe it could just be what you're watching it on. I'm not 100% sure. Like,
I'm going by various different computers and having seen a couple TV commercials. It's definitely not any lag that I've seen.
okay.
At least I don't think so. Like, I don't know if it's like intentional or not, but it gives me like borderline motion sickness. It's weird.
Huh. Interesting.
Maybe I'll listen to the audiobook when it comes out.
Into
Nicolas
the
Cage
Spider-Verse.
is in that movie, isn't it?
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Isn't he? I think he's like, I don't know, like the Spider-Man or something.
All I know is that they have sexy Gwen Stacy, so I'll be seeing it.
All I really know about this is that, like, I guess everybody's a Spider-Man or something.
If you really pull the facts, everyone's Spider-Man.
I mean, deep down inside, everyone is Spider-Man.
Yeah, deep down inside, don't you feel like you're Spider-Man? Hey, big guy.
So, like, do all these kids get bit by the same spider, or is it like a different spider, or how are there no spider villains? Is what I want to know.
They
Like,
haven't really showed like who's behind like the whole, you know, bad guy work of this movie.
Well, I mean, come on, it's Marvel.
So it's Doc Ock, basically, at some point.
I mean, it's either Doc Ock or... I mean, I will defend this opinion to my dying breath, but I mean, I don't think Marvel's exactly known for its villains. I mean, Thanos was a delightful breath of fresh air, and I guess I've heard decent things about the Vulture, but I mean...
Well, I was just gonna say, if you, you haven't played the, PS4 Spider-Man game yet, correct?
Nah.
It's actually gonna give you an interesting, back and forth between Peter and Doc Ock. Like, it's good, it's well done. I mean, Doc Ock is probably the most... Oh, shit.
Oh, you were not going Super Saiyan, you're just melting.
No, I'm just melting. Sorry, I got sidetracked.
I really thought that's what was happening.
Doc Ock is probably the most interesting Spider-Man villain when he is given proper treatment. And the PS4 game gives him proper treatment. So it was very well done.
How many different iterations of Spider-Man showed Doc Ock in a sympathetic light?
Well, no recent ones that I can think of, anyways. And so
wasn't that the way like the second movie went?
No, he was just an asshole scientist who got consumed by his own machine. Like I certainly didn't feel sorry for him.
Is that how it went?
Yeah, it was his own hubris that made him turn into a monster in that one. In the game, it's literally him like slowly degrading physically and then mentally before your very eyes, and it's really well done.
Like the Doctor who turns into a lizard.
Yeah, and I guess like Yuri Lowenthal too as Spider-Man gives like a good enough performance that when it actually comes time to fight Doc Ock, like you definitely it's an emotional fight.
There wasn't a scene in that movie where Spider-Man like is a student studying under Dr. Octopus.
Oh yeah, there is, but
and then he's like
again,
redeemed
I just
at the
didn't
end.
feel it was very sympathetic.
Shut up, you two. Shut up. And then he's like redeemed at the end of the movie or something.
Yeah, but again, it was all pretty ham-fisted, I thought. And this is me. Like I actually like that movie. I just didn't.
Apparently, I only remember the bookends of that movie.
Yeah. And again, I liked the movie just fine, but I didn't think the development of the villain was one of its strong suits.
Well, hey, it's Marvel, right?
Hey, I'm gonna fucking get you. Come here. Come here. But yeah, that is true. Yeah, Marvel only really recently has started, like actually investing itself in worthwhile villains.
But like who, out of curiosity? Because I might pick up a couple Marvel. I mean, I'll go see how Infinity War ends, which I don't really understand what the movie's about. Like,
so Thanos, like you said, the Vulture was really good. Definitely not sympathetic, but they were not trying to make him sympathetic.
I mean, yeah, I heard good things about the Vulture. I mean, he sounded like a disgruntled blue-collar worker or something.
And it was actually more Michael Keaton's performance than the actual writing. Like, he was just a really, like, on-edge, kind of fun character.
Okay, so
and then
next one.
And then Killmonger, which is the other one that people kind of rave about. I actually did think that he was pretty good. A little, you know, I joked about Doc Ock being ham-fisted. He's pretty ham-fisted too, but at the same time, like, you can buy his motivation for being so black and white. Pardon the pun in a movie about black characters.
Okay, yeah, and again, I mean, I've competent work there. I guess maybe I'm just, when I think of Marvel, I just think of where I left off watching the Marvel movies, which was, like, post-Avengers, where all the movies were just kind of really milquetoast.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
like,
fair.
Like, who'd we have? The Ironmonger, who was played by a very good Jeff Bridges, but just never really did it for me. Whiplash... whatever the hell Thor fought in the second movie.
Don't get me started in those middle movies, like the second Thor with Chris Eccleston, and then you're right, whatever the hell the villains were in Iron Man 2. Oh god, that was...
Or 3 or whatever.
Oh yeah, well 3 was disappointing because 3 was God damn it. What? Not Inferno, but help me out
The
here.
Mandarin?
What's that?
The Mandarin?
No, shit.
The Human Torch?
Basically, but oh my gosh, it's gonna drive me nuts because in the comic book he's a great villain, Extremis.
Oh, right.
And in the movie it was just bad. I mean, it was just really, really poorly done. Like, no motivation for the character other than, like, he was just this kind of dweeby guy that Tony Stark ignored. Like, half the fucking population of the Earth that Tony Stark pisses off. And this is the one guy who goes crazy and develops superpowers because of it.
But enough about Incredibles 1.
Right? Yeah, basically. Which is ironic, because that's when Disney kind of started taking the reins.
Hey, can you two shut up?
No. Wow, it sounds like they're eating each other.
Borp, borp, I want to play all night. Borp, borp.
I keep telling you, this isn't play to me. I think you're being violent and aggressive.
Where's my buddy? Where's my buddy Duncan? Where's my buddy? I love you. You gonna lick the microphone button? Let's see, what else is there? Yeah, so, like, okay, you seem to read comic books. So what exactly...
We've known each other for over a decade. You seem to be a comic book man.
Well, that's about the most dismissive thing I've said all week.
Hey, Nick, you're a Game Boy, right? You play the video games.
I dabble.
Oh, dear
So,
Lord.
so, like, what's Infinity War 2 about? Because, like, I guess I have trouble conceptualizing that, because I get that the first one
Yeah.
was about fighting Thanos, but I assume at this point, like, you know, Thanos goes to retire to a villa somewhere, and, you know, the only reason he, you know, gets killed is because someone decides to hunt him down.
Well, yeah, basically, like, I don't know what to make of it, truthfully.
Like, is there a villain in the movie?
I don't know.
Or...
Like, I'm actually subscribing to the fan theory that, seems to think Thanos, is already dead.
Uh-huh.
Like, I kind of believe that, actually.
Okay, well, I mean, that would work. God, I can't watch a Marvel movie without a villain.
Well, which would make the only villain that would actually up the ante be Galactus. But they've done nothing to indicate that he's a presence in this universe. So, but I guess they could just spend the whole movie introducing him.
Oh God, yeah, that's like I guess what we're gonna build up to now.
Well, Galactus is the World Eater, which, you know, is as big of a catastrophe as Thanos made by wiping out half of...
that's just way too comic booky. I mean, that's
is.
like,
And,
I mean,
and it's
Thanos
also...
worked because it, you know, had a bit of a believable edge to it. I
Yeah.
mean,
Well,
how can you not roll your eyes? He eats planets.
Yeah.
I mean, it didn't work
Not
for the
only
Silver
that, though,
Surfer.
but yeah, I was gonna say Galactus was already done in another finger quotes Marvel movie.
But I think those have all
terrible.
been ruled non-canon, so
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
think it matters.
Which is all just as well, because that movie was truly awful.
Well, there's never been a good Fantastic Four movie. If I
No,
remember
like
correct.
that franchise was... It's almost like it's cursed, you know? It just can't have a good movie.
So stop trying.
Yeah. Though I think Marvel's trying to buy them back now and redeem them. But I don't know, like, out of all of, like, the comic books I've read, I have never been remotely into the lore of Fantastic Four. In
Well,
fact,
you
the
know,
only
it strikes me as one of those older stories where you didn't really need that. You just had a guy who was on fire and...
Right, yeah, that was enough.
Yeah.
Well, and in fact, everyone raves about Doctor Doom being, like, one of the Marvel Universe's best villains. The only time I ever thought he was any good is when he was fighting Spider-Man instead of the Fantastic Four.
I mean, he was basically, what, Metal Skeletor, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was the one with the metal face, but instead of Skeletor, he was, like, a brilliant scientist who just went
Okay,
crazy.
so instead of a necromancer like Skeletor, he was a mechromancer.
Right, so he's like every other Marvel villain who's, like... All of Marvel's villains are either, like you said, they tend to run not very interesting because they're unkillable gods, or they are scientists who, if only they'd funded my research and seen how brilliant I was. You know, I mean, that's Marvel villains in a nutshell.
Yes, a bunch of yes.
And in my view, the sole exception being Magneto, actually.
No, I mean he was basically just Jewish Che Guevara.
Well, I was gonna say Magneto. Depending on what your worldview is, Magneto's the good guy. And
Magneto's the only villain I think in anything comic bookish that I've ever actually found interesting.
Oh yeah, I mean, like, he's actually a complex character, to the point where, like, when he inevitably teams up with the X-Men,
it actually carries weight.
Yeah, it doesn't feel forced. Like, it's okay. So this is actually serious enough for Magneto to set aside his beef with the X-Men because there's something greater out there that's violating his scruples, and that's. And that actually works because they invest the time and character development into actually building that up, as opposed to, like, I don't know, what's like a good contemporary. Hey, look, one of these guys. What's a good, like, Marvel Cinematic Universe equivalent? Like, I don't know, Captain and America are fighting each other and they completely don't get along, but now they're friends again because Thanos showed up, I guess. Because reasons.
Because I like Tony Stark and I like Captain America,
and
so I think they should be friends. Yeah.
Though I gotta say, Civil War is what kind of got me reinvested into that universe, and it didn't actually happen until like the last 5 minutes of the movie, where they legitimately were trying to hurt each other. It's like, oh crap, like, are they actually playing for keeps? Is Marvel about to do something really interesting? And then 5 minutes later, Captain America's like, no, Tony, I forgive you. It's, if you ever need me, just call. Oh.
Wow, I came close to killing you and closing out your IP. Disney would have been pissed.
Yeah, right. Like, they give no reason for why the status quo was restored. I mean, like, literally 5 minutes before the ending, they are actively trying to murder each other.
But it's okay, everything turned out just fine.
Yeah, pretty much is how we're to understand that. Like, they built it up as like, oh, this is like where the Avengers are fractured and nothing's ever going to be the same. Except that it's totally going to be the same, you guys, don't worry. Hey, armor. I want to get that.
Well, I mean, we're not exactly talking about Shakespeare or Dune here. I mean, at the end of the day, it is a superhero movie.
You are all about Dune. Like, you're really making me want to, like, invest myself into reading those books.
Dune is terrific because the whole point of Dune is one of my favorite motifs in sci-fi, which is
Nick!
beware the heat.
Nick!
Yeah, I wasn't saying anything.
Okay.
Well, hey, don't try to steal the Pharaoh's treasure. So how do you get out?
Guess we're about to find out.
I guess you starved to death?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay, just wait it out.
All right, that's all that was.
That was the stakes there were every bit as low as Civil War. Oh.
Oh god, that was a perfect analogy.
That was awesome.
Nah, I could starve him out, but
Hey, we're playing the obligatory floor is deadly section. Oh, good, invulnerability.
Oh, the floor is daddy issues. Don't touch it.
Hey, you want to fucking let me grab this guy's chest cavity?
Is that Griff from Red vs. Blue?
It's someone.
Yeah, anyways. No, I can't say enough good things about Dune. I absolutely loved the first and second books of that trilogy. Third one I can give or take, but I'm a sucker for that motif of, beware the hero, because they often cause more problems than they solve on their hero's quest.
Right. Okay, so yeah, that's actually making me really interested in it.
Yeah, like I said, never watch any of the movies. Do yourself a favor, get the audiobook of it on, well, I'd say Audible, but it's the same audiobook everywhere. They have a multicast performance, but the important thing is Simon Vance does most of the heavy lifting.
Oh, really? Remind me which voice he is.
Oh boy. Like in that book or in general, because he's next to Roy Daltrey, he was like the go-to guy.
I was gonna say, like, where would I recognize him from?
Okay, well, let's find that out real quick here. Simon Vance does tons of narration.
I was gonna say, because I feel like there's one or two guys that do like the majority of audiobooks I listen to.
There's usually Simon Vance and then George Guidall.
Does he tend to do murder mysteries or like true crime? Because if so, like I already know who he is.
Okay, Dune. Ever since Roy Daltrey died, he took over the Game of Thrones series. Search for Meaning, Girl in the Spider's Web. Oh, he did Dracula.
Wait. Like the Dracula that you and I listened to a couple years ago, or
maybe
a different
it's
one?
got numerous people in it, like Tim Curry, Alan
okay.
Cumming.
Yeah, no, the one that you and I listened to originally had only one, and it was a British guy.
Tale of Two Cities, Girl Who Played with Fire, Dune Messiah.
Dracula by Bram Stoker. Actually, whoever that guy was, I really appreciated him because he did excellent female voices.
Yes,
not
I
like,
love when they have range.
I'm Marge Simpson kind of female voices, but like he actually, yeah, right. Like how men sound like horribly condescending when they're imitating women. He did not do that. I thought that was good.
Much like what was it? The guy who narrated it, I want to say was like Ken Weber or something.
Oh yeah, whoever he was fantastic too.
Yeah, unfortunately, he's done like a one-off. He did that.
Well, granted, that was probably like 90+ hours of his life. Just
he did
audiobook.
that, and then he just basically does a bunch of John Grisham books, which I'll never read.
Oh, really? I like John Grisham.
He did Robinson Crusoe. John Grisham is tied up in my mind forever with Tom Clancy.
Oh, okay.
For Pitch. I mean, they're fine books, but they're all pretty much the same book.
Well, yeah, and to an extent, you are absolutely correct. But he, when was it? It must have been like 2006 or something. He did The Innocent Man, which was like a true crime story, but you know, with his like attention to detail, it was very well done. There we go. Smart. I really feel like we're getting near the end here, Nick.
To quote Don Burke when he was reviewing... Oh, of course not. But anyways, to quote Don Burke when he was reviewing The Historian, I think it was John Hubbard. John Hubbard didn't write 50 books. He wrote one book 50 times.
That's awesome.
Anyways,
I'm gonna get crushed by this thing. I just know it.
Yeah, so the whole point of that was, yeah, Simon Vance does most of the narration, and he's got such wonderful range, and he's a joy to listen to.
Oh, good. I'll have to check that out.
George Guidall's voice was kind of spoiled for me when he did Gravity's Rainbow, which is...
For some reason, I heard you say Gore Vidal.
Gore Vidal? Yeah. Gore Vidal.
That is a very different person.
Did you ever read Gravity's Rainbow?
I've not.
Oh my god. I don't know why Thomas Pynchon is considered a famous writer, but, I mean, both metaphorically and in some cases literally, his writing is just shit.
Hey,
I mean, he makes so many coprophilia jokes.
Huh. That's kind of an interesting tick.
I mean, it's between coprophilia and pedophilia. I believe he studied under... who was the guy who wrote Lolita?
Oh, fuck, what's his name?
Nabokov?
This is probably why I'm not remembering it. Hey. All right.
Vladimir Nabokov.
Nabokov.
I mean, Lolita was
really?
a fine book. I mean, it was basically like, you know, early Hannibal Lecter, but Thomas Pynchon studied under Nabokov, and he thought he could be a better writer by trying to one-up him in all the edgy stuff that Nabokov did.
Ah. Hey, did you ever watch, side note, did you ever watch the Hannibal TV series with Mads Mikkelsen?
I did not.
I've only recently become aware of it, and I'm wondering if it's worth my time.
I mean, I've seen the movie Hannibal Lecter.
Yeah, with
series,
the famous Anthony Hopkins character, right? But
yeah.
But this is, you know, the same character, and it's kind of like an extended series that's a little bit more faithful to the books, I guess. Mm-hmm. Or at least that's how I understand it. I could be totally wrong, but yeah. Okay, so we've got max health, max ammo. Something bad is about to happen.
Is this series on Netflix?
I don't think so.
I was gonna say I canceled my Netflix. I think the day after I finished Castlevania.
Possibly Amazon.
Oh, okay. Well, then I guess it will cost me nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
No,
Dude,
I got
know
a
Amazon's like this big evil corporation that's taking over the world. I love them.
Oh, yeah. I don't steal men's freedom. They willingly surrender it unto me.
That's right. Behold, I have become death. Or, wait, no. What was Ozymandias' quote? King of Kings, or... I forget.
Behold my works in despair?
Yeah, there we go. I'm Ozymandias, King of Kings.
Weep, O ye mighty, something or another.
Yep. Oh, hey, I'm out of armor.
No, when I had Netflix, all I watched was Castlevania and BoJack Horseman.
Hey, you know, you could do a lot worse than BoJack and Castlevania.
I have to say, I was legitimately surprised. I don't rewatch a lot of series, but I found myself kind of picking over reruns of BoJack Horseman, not ironically either.
Yeah.
So, I love how the show is sharp commentary and, oh look, a goat mowing the lawn. Isn't that funny?
Ooh! Right as I pulled out the BFG. Like, I recognized that I was in trouble, and so I pulled the BFG out. But because of the animation, I, like, held still for a second and took that...
No, I needed my arms for flailing in pain.
Right. It's okay. We have another shot here.
So I bought my sister Resident Evil 7 for Christmas. I'm hoping that goes over well.
Oh, nice. I'm actually about to reserve Resident Evil 2, the remake, this week.
When does that come out?
January. So, I wanted to discuss this with you and Max, but I'm wondering if we might be able to arrange, like a release week, maybe like 3-player, or like 3 co-host playthrough of that game.
I don't know, 3 people trying to get a word in edgewise is going to be like all 100.
Well, I mean, we were going to do it with Secret of Mana eventually anyways, so...
I wouldn't be opposed to it, for what it's worth.
Hey.
You know me, I hate pretty much everything, because I think everything is mediocre, but I am legitimately excited to see Resident Evil 2's take on, oh gosh, what is it, Mr. X?
Oh yeah, the Tyrant from Resident Evil 2.
Yeah, I loved the trailer I saw. I think it was on GameSpot, of basically just him, you know, angrily shoving zombies out of his way.
And like, stalking you through the whole building instead of just, unscripted corridors. Yeah, that seems pretty...
I loved that.
That seems pretty intense.
That alone will sell me on the game once I read reviews and find out that it's not garbage.
Yeah,
or poorly ported.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I was gonna buy it anyways, because Resident Evil 2 is my favorite game in the series. But, I mean, just seeing what I'm seeing, it seems like they're making all the right kind of changes. Mm-hmm. You know, like, with these kind of games, you always walk a tightrope between changing too much or not enough, and it seems like they've done this, correctly.
I tend to award a lot of merit, personally, for whenever a game does something different.
Yeah.
Even if it's not necessarily good. I think we've had this conversation, but... I mean, if you want to play Resident Evil 2 and you don't like the new one because it's not faithful to the old one, well, then go play the old one.
Right.
That game already exists.
Did that dude just shrug off a BFG bullet?
I think, or maybe the splash damage didn't get him.
Something. Holy hell.
But yeah, that looks like a really solid remake, so... It's Capcom that owns Silent Hill, right?
Possibly?
I want to say it's Konami, but it's not.
Is it Konami?
I don't think so.
I think it's Konami.
Konami owns Castlevania, I know that.
Yeah, but I think they also own Silent Hill.
Okay, has Wesker ever appeared in Marvel vs. Capcom?
Yes.
Okay, there's our answer.
Okay. How is that our answer?
Wesker would not appear in Marvel vs. Capcom if he was owned by Konami.
No, Silent Hill, not Resident Evil, is owned by Konami. Resident Evil is absolutely owned by Capcom.
Who said anything about Silent Hill?
I thought that was your whole argument, is that Silent Hill is owned by Capcom. and not
No,
Konami.
no, 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 no. Okay. I've actually gotten really bad about this. I must have said Silent Hill.
Instead of Resident Evil.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
This has been a source of not a few issues the last few.
That would lead to some confusion. They are not the same game. Okay, I don't know what the hell I just did. But
Well,
I say we get to the next checkpoint here and we call this an episode. I think we went a little long because I convinced myself that we were absolutely getting to the end of this. But
No, you're at about an hour.
okay. This is good. But we are not getting to the end of this tonight, that's for sure.
You didn't jump on top the poundy stone thing? I mean, there's got to be a
that
secret
was-
up there.
Yeah, no, I got that earlier. That was-
Oh, all right. I must not have seen. I was too busy talking about Silent Hill.
More like Silent Jill. Jill Sandwich. Okay, never mind. Fuck, I don't know where I was going with that.
One of these days,
I haven't
someone's
even
going
had
to ask
alcohol
me.
tonight.
One of these days, someone's going to ask me
Yeah, I
why
did
I'm
get
talking
that.
about Deepak Chopra when I'm actually thinking I've said Donald Trump.
Tupac Shakur? What? I think I'm supposed to go up there. Question is how.
Hey guys, can you stop, please? Guys,
No,
please.
we'll never stop.
Bark, bark! We want to play all night. Yeah, get off our ass. We're dogs.
Can't stop, won't stop.
Can't stop this train, Nick. You heard him.
Addicted to the shindig.
Duncan is 30 pounds at this point.
That's
He is
a-
like a small horse.
I was
He's
gonna say,
getting
that's
too big
a big
too
old
fast.
puppy. Yeah, I know. Boxers do that. They just go through that phase where they're just like little muscle horses.
Yeah, muscle horse. Yeah, that is
That's
true.
what they are. They're not really dogs.
all about the muscles.
And then when they get old, they like mellow out and get really fat.
Yeah, that's where about Rex is coming on the
There we
2.5
go.
year mark.
There we go. Checkpoint reached. Nick, next time on Play the Hits, we go shove this shotgun up Satan's a-hole.
More doom.
Hey, you know what? Actually, I really need a Mario episode to mellow me out. So, but next time on Play the Hits, we shove this shotgun up Satan's a-hole. We will. Who am I kidding? We'll see you then.
Oh, should I say something?
Play me out, Johnny.